I work as an overnight cleaner for a small library in a quiet suburban town. The building is old, built in the 1920s, and it shows. The wood floors creak with every step, and the place always has this faint, musty smell, like old books and damp wood. Most of the time, I enjoy the solitude. It's peaceful, and I can work at my own pace without interruptions. But there was one night I'll never forget. It was just past midnight, and I was working my way through the children's section on the first floor. My cart of cleaning supplies sat next to me as I dusted the shelves and wiped down the tables. The library was completely still except for the sound of my rag moving against the wood. Then I heard it, a soft thud. I froze, holding my breath, listening. It came again. It wasn't loud, but it was distinct. It sounded like something falling, maybe a book. I glanced around, but everything looked exactly as it had a moment ago. Thinking it must have been the building settling, I shrugged it off and went back to work. A few minutes later, I moved on to the second floor. The upstairs area is smaller, just a few rows of shelves and a study area with old wooden desks. As I climbed the staircase, I noticed how much darker it felt up there. The single bulb in the stairwell flickered faintly, casting long shadows on the walls. I pushed my cart to the back corner and started wiping down the tables. That's when I heard it again. Thud. This time it was louder. It sounded like it came from the far end of the room. I turned toward the shelves, flashlight in hand, and scanned the rows. Nothing. But as I walked closer, I noticed one of the books was lying on the floor. It was an old, tattered hardcover, the kind no one's checked out in years. I picked it up and slid it back onto the shelf, chalking it up to bad shelving or a gust of air. As I turned to leave, I caught something out of the corner of my eye, a shadow. It was quick, darting between the shelves like someone trying to hide. My chest tightened. "Hello?" I called out, my voice echoing in the empty space. No answer. Gripping the flashlight tightly, I walked toward where I'd seen the movement. My heart pounded as I rounded the corner of the shelf. Nothing, just rows of dusty books staring back at me. I tried to laugh it off, telling myself I was just tired. But deep down, I couldn't shake the feeling that I wasn't alone. I decided to cut my work upstairs short and head back down to the first floor. As I reached the top of the staircase, I stopped dead in my tracks. The light in the stairwell was off. It had been flickering earlier, but now it was completely out, leaving the space in total darkness. I stood there for a moment, trying to calm myself, when I heard the sound of footsteps. Not my footsteps. These were heavy, deliberate, coming from the far end of the second floor, the same spot where I'd seen the shadow. Without thinking, I bolted down the stairs. My heart raced as I reached the first floor, grabbing my phone to call for help. But when I looked at the screen, I noticed something strange. The time had reset. My phone read 12 a.m., as if it had just powered on. Then I heard it again. Footsteps. This time they were coming down the staircase. I didn't wait to see who or what it was. I grabbed my keys and ran for the exit, leaving my cart and supplies behind. As I fumbled with the lock, I felt a cold rush of air behind me, like someone had just stepped into the room. I forced the door open and sprinted to my car. When I looked back at the building, the stairwell light was on again, glowing softly in the window. But I could see it, a figure standing at the top of the stairs, staring down at me. I quit the next day.